Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
That's awesome. I love Rocky. That's right, America. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Lost Art of Common Sense. As usual, we are brought to you by our merch shop, so buy our shit.
That's right, buy our shit. And I think for the first time in a long time, Matt decided to join us on time. Say hello to everybody, Matt.
Hello. Sorry, I'm on my beach. I decided to join you guys, though.
Everybody loved your living room, though. So
was it expensive to fly to Epstein Island?
Oh, nobody here. So
okay, well that's good. Well,
yeah, I can still get spotted cow.
Ooh, spotted cow. All right. It's common on.
They flew it up for me.
Yeah, that's nice of them.
So what are we talking about today, Kevin?
With some rope too, but I don't know what the rope's for.
Just make sure the red lights on the cameras are off, okay? We all know you're into some weird shit.
Yeah, don't blacklight that island. That's right. We're going to be talking to a couple different topics. They kind of mix and match a little bit. I want to talk about the Super Bowl, being that's one of the biggest events of the year on television, if not the biggest event, and one of the most very American cultural phenomenon. And I also want to talk a little bit about DEI as well, because I believe they both have a common thread. And so I just wanted to keep, first off, let me ask Matt, let's go with you, being you're more of a sports fan. What did you think of the game itself?
I thought it was just a shellacking. I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be a really hard fought game, and then I was kind of hoping the Eagles would win with Cooper DeJean there, but I was not expecting them just to demolish and embarrass Chiefs like they did. I was really happy to see Cooper DeJean with the pick six.
Josh?
Well, I had no idea because I haven't been paying attention to either team. Eagles.
You're an Eagles fan, aren't you?
They're my backup team.
Are they? Or you're a Bears fan, then an Eagles fan?
Yeah, so I generally don't have anyone to root for in the Super Bowl. So when the Eagles make it, my entire family is Philadelphia fans, except for me. I'm the only Chicago fan.
Why?
So again, I don't get to watch a lot of championships.
Why?
Why is my family Philadelphia fans?
No, why are you a Chicago fan?
Why is anyway Chicago
fan? Because my dad's side of the family is Philadelphia fans, and then my mom's side was Chicago fans. And I just
you should have
been a Packer fan.
Ooh,
what? No, I'm not going to disappoint my parents like that.
No one wants to be a Packers fan.
It was bad enough I was born on Disappoint Your Parents Day, okay? I'm not going to take it any farther than
that. But did
no,
they name the day after you?
No.
Oh, no. No, that's how I remember what it is.
Yeah. National Disappoint Your Parents Day.
That's right.
I thought that just from the limited amount of knowledge I had, I thought the Eagles had a good chance of winning because if you have a really strong defense, your chances of going up are pretty high. Now, yeah, did I think it was going to be the shellacking that it was? No.
No, I was happy with the result of the game. I don't really like the Chiefs at all. Kelsey showed his age. Mahomes, their offensive line just couldn't garbage.
Well, the Eagles line is, I think, at least half a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier than the average line on the first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So their average offensive line, their starting offensive line averages 6'5" and like 330 or 338. And most offensive lines are like 6'2", 6'3", and maybe 300, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's how their offense was able to get away with that first, 2-yard drive into the end zone. They just forced them in, and then they jacked up that one dude's
or
neck.
the brother. What do they call it now? The brotherly shove.
Yeah, the brotherly shove. I guess tush push.
Yeah, that's where
that's out of
the
here.
running back comes in.
Yeah. Now that Kelsey's out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get a handful of that ass, and I'll get you across the line.
Well, when your running back can out squat your offensive lineman, then yeah,
it was.
Let him do whatever he wants.
I was happy.
I enjoyed the game. I mean,
yeah, I did too.
Sure, Kansas City didn't. I mean, it wasn't entertaining to the point of wow, this is a good game. Like when the Cubs won the series, that was a great series when it was over. I fucking hated it during the entire 7-game stretch. Yeah. I'm a 4 in and out kind of person, but it was not that.
No, it was pretty decisive from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game was, I would say, decisively over in the fourth quarter, probably halfway through the third.
Oh, it was over in the second quarter.
Nah, it's only 17-0. I mean, the Patriots came back below, farther than that to beat the Falcons. So
true, but no, I was just baffled that the Chiefs have a decent running game. They did not run the ball. They didn't even try. Especially in the first half, they didn't even try. It was pass, and your offensive line sucks. Your receivers can't get open, except for Kelsey. When he did get open, Mahomes didn't want to throw it to him for whatever reason. So Kelsey kind of just gave up. I think I saw a couple of plays there, and he was just not interested.
It was a good night for Tom Brady too.
Oh yeah, till Nick Foles jumped in and was making fun of him. That was
well.
Funny.
I'm just saying, I bet he was hoping that Kansas was going to lose too.
Oh yeah, the Patriots.
There's no way there's no way they're making it back.
I saw a pretty good fucking meme. It said, "How are all these African?" It has the old mass symbols and a woman looking questioningly. It's now how did the Chiefs get a three-peat when the Bills won 4 Super Bowls in a row? The first team to get 3
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, all those African kids getting the.
And the Eagles did not disappoint. Eagle fans.
No, Eagle fans are Eagle fans.
It's yeah, we won. Let's burn this fucker down.
Oh, yeah. Every time they win.
Did anybody die?
I don't think so.
There was a lot of fires and a lot of damage, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
of course. And there was a lot of fighting.
I think they're more violent
men and women fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when they lose, they're like, oh, man, fuck it. But when they win, they're like, yeah.
I was happy with the game.
Yeah.
I was too. And I'm glad that the Eagles decided to do a little bit of DEI with the white cornerbacks, giving them a shot. It's very, very good to include.
I tell you what, their backup quarterback looked like he was a high schooler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I have no idea what his name is, but I'm like
Kenny Pickett.
Oh yeah, Kenny Pickett.
He looks tiny.
He's not.
He's bigger than
taller.
Hurts.
He's bigger than their starter, but
yeah, he's bigger than Hurts.
Scrawnier though.
He's just white.
Maybe that was it.
It's the pasty look.
Lacks depth.
It's the pasty look that makes it skins you out. I mean,
makes at first I didn't know what was happening.
It's stripes, vertical stripes.
Why is he in? Yeah.
Having pasty skin is like vertical stripes on a shirt.
That's another thing. It's the Super Bowl. And you're getting beat so bad that the other team brings in their second string just so he can say he played the Super Bowl.
With 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
4.5.
So embarrassing.
So Josh,
and then you score. Then you can score.
Yeah. It was a hell of a throw by Mahomes that last touchdown, though. I mean, hell of a catch by Worthy too, but it was all for nothing.
Josh, Worthy, go ahead. Yeah.
Now, do you feel like it was more or less or about the same amount of pro-America than the previous few Super Bowls?
I think there might have been some more pro-America. I didn't see anybody kneeling. I don't know if people still do that. If they did, they didn't show it on camera. But I wouldn't say that there is any less of the stuff that annoys people about the Super Bowl.
No, what do you think?
I thought it was fine.
I know when the camera panned to Trump in the box during the national anthem,
and everybody
the crowd's
cheered.
cheer was loud enough to where you could actually see a visible reaction to the guy singing.
Yeah.
Because it was so loud.
I didn't
And
really
that was the
care
last
for...
time they panned to him. I don't know if that was a security thing, but I thought that was weird.
It might be.
Well, he left early, didn't he?
I don't know.
Maybe, but
I think he left like right around halftime.
no, like
People were saying he left because of the halftime show, but
no. I think probably had another.
I would say him leaving early.
He's kind of important.
Did a service.
He was
to
the first
everyone
person to ever. He was the first person to ever go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and wasted like $20 million of our money to do it.
Yeah,
those could have gone in the form of condoms to foreign countries. I don't care if it wasn't Gaza,
right?
Uganda or something apparently got them, but either way, that's a lot of condoms.
It's a lot of condoms,
and we could have sent so many more. But no, Trump had to go to the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I thought
him leaving early did them a service.
Yeah, I thought the pregame was a lot more pro-American than usual. I mean, that's really the only time you really see anything. I didn't watch a whole lot of like the first 4 hours when they do all the previews and bullshit like that, so I have no idea about that. But I thought for sure the pregame stuff was a lot more pro-American. I mean, it was good. The NFL, they did take out. By the way, the NFL beat racism, so congrats to the NFL because they did not put the end racism at the end of the end zone like they do every NFL game. Like that.
Oh.
So way to go, NFL! You beat racism.
Yeah,
kicking ass and taking.
And having a white cornerback doesn't hurt either.
No, yeah.
Sorry.
It was a weird, like, both renditions of what was the first one? You had the national anthem, and then what was the one they sang before that?
Was it the Black national anthem?
They did that.
Yeah, they did that, but they
America the Beautiful.
America the Beautiful. Both those renditions were weird.
Well, they're in New Orleans, so they kind of did like a New Orleans.
Yeah, because the national anthem, it wasn't bad, but it was.
I thought it was like more
definitely an original take.
I thought it was more traditional.
What?
It was
the national anthem.
I mean, he sang the words, but
there was nothing traditional about that national anthem. I don't say it wasn't bad, but like the melody
just a
behind
big
it
New Orleans.
That's what
I think they put a New Orleans flair on everything.
Yeah, I think.
That's he's huge. Can't remember his name, but yeah, he's huge.
It's like a jazzy flair to it.
I mean, I thought it was an interesting take on it.
I mean, they didn't add any words or over accentuate words, and I mean, he pretty much just sang it.
He didn't Roseanne it.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Well. Yeah, no one wants that.
No.
So, Josh, what did you think about the commercials? I mean, they didn't seem as woke, I don't think. Do you? What do you think?
Ironically, I didn't think the commercials were all that bad, except for, and they weren't necessarily bad. I think they were weird. From what I heard, I didn't really look it up, but apparently Nike hasn't done a Super Bowl commercial since the 80s.
Yeah, it's weird.
And so they decided to go with these.
Let's settle this once and for all. Your best guy, whatever,
I'm not gonna say this
versus our best guy, the Brad.
Oh my God, look at that
I
mullet.
figure out who that was.
Oh, not the Brad.
Like, I know Marshawn Lynch on the side. But...
I can read.
Whatever.
There you go. You got folded up, Brad. Get her. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
I did the same one.
I'll tell you what, I did not even know this was a flag.
It isn't a thing.
It is.
Flag football is varsity sport.
Yes.
They're wanting to make it varsity.
They're making it an
Do you
Olympic.
think there's actual crowds like that?
All right, and this one is just weird.
It's down south, yes.
You can't be demanding.
Why is Brad back?
You can't be relentless.
I feel like you're touching
You can't put
something.
yourself first.
So,
I'm
put
touching
yourself
stuff that you don't
first.
need to know what.
You can't be confident, so be confident. You can't challenge, so challenge. You can't dominate, so dominate. You can't flex, so flex. You can't fill a stadium, so fill that stadium. You can't be emotional, so be emotional. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be so ambitious. You can't break records. You can't have any fun. You can't make demands. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
Where's the you can't have a penis but have a penis one?
Well, the ironic thing is
Makes you went to Atlanta.
Nike actually supports transgender women in women's sports.
Yeah. That's
So
what I'm
that-
saying. Why don't they have you can't have a penis but have a penis?
You can't have a penis, but have a penis.
I mean, at least they didn't put a transgender athlete in there.
Yeah, that's true. And from what
Good.
I heard, a lot of the shade that's being thrown on Caitlin Clark is from other female basketball players.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
it's not
I
dudes
don't know
saying
why. I don't get
you
it.
can't do it and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's all like,
She's bringing in all the crowd, and for some reason they just don't like it because a white girl's getting attention.
maybe it's
Well, and the
jealous.
funny thing is, some of those girls that were talking so much trash about her last year are now on her team. They
Yeah.
signed or got traded to her team, so that's going to be pretty interesting.
It's like, so I shouldn't shoot for threes anymore.
Like
Now that
Bonner
you're on
didn't
my
like her,
team?
and now she loves her.
Well, yeah, because like now they're on a winning team and people come to their games.
Yeah, people actually watch them.
But yeah, that's the only thing I don't get is like they're for men and women's sports, and then they come with a commercial like 30 years later, almost 40 years later, and they just pushing that like women are being held down in sports. I did not know about the flag football thing. I just thought that was a
I didn't know flag
get your
football was
ass
an
kicked
actual
version
sport.
of
No,
football.
it's becoming a thing, and now it's going to be an Olympic sport in 2028.
No one's gonna watch that.
No one's going to watch it.
They're trying to get NFL
No one's
players
gonna
are
watch
trying
varsity
to do it.
flag football.
I bet you it showed a full stadium. I bet you like 10 people watch.
There's probably AI. You look into their faces; they're all jacked.
Who's
up and
going to, I
shit.
mean, who goes to like Thursday night lights under flag football or whatever day they play?
They're gonna play it during the daylight so you can see the flags.
I mean, I'm sure they have lighting.
Now I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was pretty good at flag football. Okay,
Yeah.
the spins, the old whoop, oh. It's fun,
Yeah, you
but
could
it's a
pull off
way
the
to play
Saquon break.
football without having to pad up and getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, I'm no
Yeah.
longer able to do flag football because my knees will
Yeah,
just give
there's-
out and my back will crumple.
Probably.
Kevin's all
No,
like,
there's a professional flag football league because they were getting mad at the pros who wanted to be on the Olympic team, and they're like, "Oh, we've been playing this forever. You guys keep with your professional football." It's like, stay out of flag football. It's like, wouldn't you
Yeah.
want professional athletes to be?
Wouldn't you want it to be
I
like?
didn't think professional athletes could be on Olympic teams.
Yeah, they can. What do you think the dream team was?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they weren't like super. They were actually getting kind of whooped that one year because nobody could hit a 3-pointer because everyone was going for the poster shot.
I mean, the rest of the world has caught up on basketball. I mean, they're still.
Yeah.
I think
winning
we've
medals.
kind of
Hockey, I
taken
don't
the
think
mantle
they-
back now that teams have realized that you need to have more than just guys running up and slamming the ball. Where
Yeah.
Kevin
Yeah.
goes out or dunks the ball, and then Kevin goes out and flag football, and he's just like,
Get your hand off my penis!
"That is not a flag."
It's not a flag. It's not a flag.
I was wondering why you're screaming like a girl.
Josh, what did you think
Oh.
about the president being there for the first time ever? And him getting cheered and Taylor Swift getting booed because it went from the president right to Taylor Swift.
That was funny too because you could see her eyes like,
She's like,
"What's
what?
going on here?"
Oh, that's some Philly fans coming out, man.
Yeah.
Well, and it was funny because I'm sure you saw it too on X. All these people like, oh yeah, the president got booed, and I'm like, by who? You at your house
One
by
person.
yourself?
Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was a bunch of lefties like filming the TV, and Trump would come on and be like, boo, boo. I'm like, I was watching the game, and it seemed like people were pretty stoked. I think it was cool that he went. I'm sorry. I'm kind of surprised that he's the first president to ever attend the football game. And it's not like it's out of character. He goes to a lot of sporting events, or he
Yeah,
did.
I mean,
I
he
don't know
went
about
to-
as a president,
He went to a bunch of college football games.
but yeah, I mean, that's what he does. It's nothing out of character for him. That's why I said him leaving early did all the fans a service, because then all that the added security for him being there is gone, and you can just like leave.
Yeah.
Well, and he's also a huge Mahomes fan. That might have something to do with why he left.
And unfortunately, he won't be having him come to the White House for Big Mac.
No, he'll have the Philadelphia Eagles coming there for Big Macs and all that fast food, some Chick-fil-A.
That people talk
The
shit about.
Angel Reese
all the
special.
players are like, yeah, this is good food.
Yeah, I'd rather have this. Matt, what'd you think about him being there?
I thought it was cool. I wasn't surprised that he was there. I didn't realize no other president had been there, but I kind of figured. I thought he'd get more screen time once they found him, but I was okay with them showing him once and getting to the game, getting to Taylor, and then getting to the game.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Food out of the stadium, and then
yeah, I also thought that him being there was a good thing. Like again, I couldn't believe that he was the first president ever. I would have thinking, that would have been a staple of a president going to a game, especially the
did
biggest
Obama
sporting
ever
event
go to
in
any
the country.
basketball games?
What's that?
Did Obama ever go to any basketball games? Wasn't he a huge basketball?
I think he went to a Lakers game.
North Carolina.
I think
Either North Carolina or Duke.
Yeah.
I figured he would have gone to a couple of those. I have no problem with presidents doing that stuff.
Pros, I don't know.
I thought he went to a Lakers game maybe, but
I don't know.
No, he was a Bulls fan. He was a Bulls fan.
I think they were playing the Bulls, but I'm not sure about that.
I didn't think it was dumb how people were like, "Oh, look, Trump's just on vacation already," because he went golfing that one day, and apparently that's like being on vacation.
Well, I just don't understand how people are like this when they had Biden for 4 years, who literally was gone on vacation half his presidency.
Yeah, they they worked it out.
Literally.
Like, that's not an exaggeration.
It's a literally half the presidency he was on vacation.
Yeah, but he only worked from like 10 to 4 or something like that.
Yeah, so, that's what that Ling Ling or was it?
She's my winner, Lindy Lee.
Lindy Lee. It was close. It sounded.
We'll be talking about her later.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I had really on the Super Bowl. Unless you guys want anything else you want to point out about the game or commercials. What was your guys' favorite commercial?
I can't remember.
Right? I didn't think they were that good.
There was a couple. The Pat McAfee one where he's the principal and in a fat suit. That one was pretty good.
Yeah,
I was happy to
otherwise,
see
I don't know
that Bud Light actually came out with a commercial that
the cul-de-sac party.
Yeah, they're trying
that
to
one was good.
Turn it back toward their actual, customer base.
Yeah, that's still Bud Light.
The first one with we got horses and it's a small horse and it's pulling a wagon full of beer. Nah, I'm talking about stupid shit like, hey,
stupid, funny
shit. Check out
what
this
people want to see
40-yard long cooler with a grill on it and blah, blah. That's
what people want to see.
And then it panned to Peyton with it at the stadium. That was kind of cool.
So,
but I thought it was neat that Budweiser actually used Clydesdales because they haven't used them for 15 years. I don't know if
it hasn't been that long.
It hasn't been that long, but they haven't used it for a while.
Outside of Eldridge,
I don't know.
There's a Budweiser. I didn't see him last time I was out there. There's a Budweiser.
I don't know how long horses
Clydesdales
live.
Just outside of
those might be glue for all I know.
They're somewhere in Missouri, I think. Yeah.
That's what they do to horses.
Oh, like Elmer's?
You want to hear what they do to goats?
So when you're eating, nobody wants to know what you do with goats.
We already had that white slur, Matt. We don't need you to bring it up. We don't need the old goat rope or
I don't think I
back.
read that one.
No, you did not read that one. Sorry.
Don't
that
be
was
sorry.
before
Don't
your
give me that one.
time.
Don't give me that one.
Josh,
I'm already going to have a hard enough time today.
I want to move to DEI here because I couldn't figure out enough questions for just Super Bowl. Is less or no DEI a good thing or a bad thing, and why?
I think they should completely get rid of DEI, period.
Why?
There's no room for it. I think we should have a merit-based society.
Meritocracy?
Yeah, like, I just think that's how it should be. That's how you get the best people in the best positions. The only place where I think equity, and I don't even know if equity is the right word, but like is in our education program. Everyone deserves in this country, everyone deserves the same access to education. I don't care where you're at, what kind of money you make. The public school system should be the same everywhere, which is why I also think there are schools down here. They're out in the middle of BFE that have more money than they know what to do with because the school's like next to a refinery and there's like 10 kids that go there and the school's rich as fuck because of the property tax. I don't understand how we haven't monetized and I think they have kind of a price per kid, but we need to make that money go farther. Like Trump was saying, we spend more money on students and we're at the 40th out of 40 that they did. That's the only thing where I think that, and it has nothing to do with race, sex, sexuality. Everyone deserves to have the same access to education. We should have the smartest people in the world coming out of high school. As far as high school education goes, we should be at the top. That's just how I feel about it. I think that's where the disparity is in this country. Is there are school districts that are allowing people to graduate that are not ready for the world. And I think that's where lot of the
they
stuff
can't even
comes
read.
in. Exactly. It's like, oh, well, we can't have test scores because that's racist. It's like,
Yeah,
what? Yeah, you're doing that
stupid.
person a favor. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. What do you think, Matt?
And don't even get me started on manufacturing. That's just sexist. Did you guys see that?
Womanfacturing.
Yeah, manufacturing. There's only 13% of women in there. Why don't you change the name? Because it sounds like it's a dude.
Yeah, all DEI stuff is.
People are stupid. I
can't remember who it was.
It doesn't matter. They were voted into. They were voted into power.
They were in power. Yeah,
they're in power. People voted morons like this into power, and this is all our fault. These stupid equity programs and taking tests out of schools. This is because we voted this in there. We made ourselves dumber.
I mean, I didn't.
Well, the majority in the school districts did.
The funny thing is, I used to go to private school, and then when I went to public school, I could barely read.
Rich kid.
Which is why I had to go to pancake class, and then I could read.
Fucking pancake graduate right over here, folks.
Class. Yeah,
pancake graduate.
I'm just saying, that is not a disparaging term. If you went to pancake class, it means people cared about you. And they wanted to make sure that you could read. I only went to private school. I think I only went to private school 1st through 3rd grade. But I was
obviously private school did not teach you shit.
Grade. No, it was stupid. It was like, oh, we have the reading alphabet, and that's how we learn, teach people how to read. And I'm like, my brain thought it was dumb, and my brain thinks it's dumb and won't learn it. That's just how my brain works.
Yeah. Learning's dumb. I ain't doing it. This is dumb.
I don't like the words coming out of your mouth. I'm just going to sit here and hum the theme song.
I know learn this way. I learn different.
I know
you teach me different.
Me no learn this way.
Me like pancakes.
Give me pancakes. Me learn.
1 pancake, 2 pancake.
How do you spell syrup?
Syrup. Yeah. So,
Josh is in pancake class. We can make fun of it.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I was one of them.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with pancake class, okay?
I'm not saying.
We don't talk about waffle class, okay? We talk about pancake class.
Syrup running down his mouth.
French toast class.
Fucking syrup on his shirt.
Definitely don't talk about French toast class. You just want to walk away from that right now, man.
I just want French toast.
You don't even know what you just said. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't either,
French
but I'm just
toast
saying.
Class.
We don't talk about French toast class on the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
yeah,
next question.
You got it.
Oh, you talk about a lot of other things that probably shouldn't, but no French toast class.
That's right.
Talk about crick gypsies and
I don't even understand what the inclusion part is. Like, yeah, people should be included. I don't understand
Everybody's
that part.
included in everything.
I'm cool with diversity of thought, not diversity on stuff that has nothing to do that's going to help you achieve a goal.
Like you were saying, equality, not equitable. You know,
Yeah.
right.
There's a totally different thing. One's the beginning, one's how they want the end should be. Like everybody should be the same at the end.
Yeah, inclusion is like socialism or communism, where it's a manufactured outcome.
Yeah, the inclusion part, I guess, is like so
Which
you're not
normally ends with
racist
an
and you're
empty
hiring,
belly.
but like there has to be a certain amount. Inclusion is a certain percentage. It has to be a certain percentage of a minority or whatever.
Yeah,
women.
what was the term? Equitable. Equitable is the one where it's a manufactured outcome.
Yes.
There's that word again.
A woman factured.
Manufactured.
Would she want to change it to, by the way?
I have no idea.
So
she didn't even say. She didn't even say. She was just like, it sounds like a dude. And that's probably why you don't have women in it.
Yeah, she did a good job making herself look real dumb.
Yeah. I wonder if she uses a manual when she puts stuff together.
That's what people commented.
There's so many
I need to read my manual, but I don't want to because it's sexist.
Yeah, well, do you think actresses are like, no, I'm not reading this manuscript?
Yeah.
It's like, well, they can just say, I'm going to read this script.
This is evil. Maybe Blake Lively, she'll write her own.
What about manila folders? Technically.
Vanilla.
Yeah, call them vanilla folders now. No, that's racist. It's too white. Too white now.
It was vanilla. I was like, why is everybody saying Manila?
All right, keep it rolling, Kevin.
All right. The money Doge has caught going to DEI programs is well into the billions. Matt, do you think that money was spent wisely?
No. Probably not. I don't know all the things for DEI, what it went to, but everything that I've heard is just no. It's just dumb.
Are you talking about in the U.S. or just money spent in general?
Just some DEI programs everywhere in the world that we spent.
The DEI money that got sent out.
What up, Jared?
Hey, Jared's here.
What's up, buddy?
That was sent out to destabilize societies. That's what DEI does.
See, what's funny is, it was made here, and they saw how bad it did here, what it was doing here, and they sent it out to the rest of the world. Like,
a lot of those ideas came out of Marxism.
Yeah, of course they did. That's how all equitable is supposed to be. So that's a socialist. Equitable is a socialist idea.
Yes.
I think the general idea of it is, okay, you want to include people that aren't just white men or whatever, white women. Yeah, include everybody and give everybody a fair shot. But they've just been taking it way, 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 way overboard. And they were like, okay, if you're a white man, you're not doing anything. If you're a certain person, you're not getting this because we need more of this. That's just ridiculous.
Well, that's where we ran into. That's where they ran into air traffic controller shortages.
Yeah,
because they weren't just hiring people to fill the position. They're hiring people to check boxes and like, oh, we need more of this or more of that. So we're just going to leave these other qualified applicants off to the side because we have to check those boxes. So then it creates a shortage. So it's dumb. Just saying.
Dumb. Stupid.
So we think it was not spent wisely, Kevin, and it was a bad idea.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea, right? So why are Democrats, I believe we can agree that
because they're dumb.
So invested in DEI. When it's shown, if anything, it definitely makes things run slower. And sometimes it makes things more dangerous because people are put in the wrong positions that do not have the expertise they should They're just, instead of a merit-based hire, they were a DEI hire.
Yeah.
Why
It's
are
just
they
one of
so
the,
invested? What good could this possibly do?
because it's look at me. It's like I'm being working for the people and whatever, but you're not.
Is it
It's
just
just dumb.
about virtue signaling, or is there something else behind it? What do you, Josh?
I think that it was all part of the subversion of the United States, and from arguably the founding of our country, the Democrats have been the one that have the questionable morals, and that is the party that was easiest to kind of sew into the fold. And so what they did is they ended up attaching themselves to all these fringe groups. They had the media, they had the social media platforms, they were able to censor, and that's what gave them power. And even though it is obvious to everybody that that is why they have lost power, that is why, since that's how they got it initially, they're just going to hold on to that.
It's
If you go
crazy.
all the way back, Democrats have always like gained power or tried to gain votes off of pointing out how people have problems in their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's always something. Now, granted, they caused a lot of those back in the day,
they
but like
keep
they
causing
flipped
them.
script. But
Well, they cause a problem, then they say they can fix it.
I think that's why they won't. That's why they attach to it, and that's why they won't let it go. Because in order for them to regain, the only way they're ever going to turn their party around is they're going to have to flip script on literally everything they've been saying for the last arguably 12 to 16 years.
Well, they're going to have to gain back middle America.
Yeah, and like
How
they're
are
not
they
going
going
to
to
be
do
able to do that. Well, even if you had a sane person come up in the ranks to like try to take a hold of the party and right the ship, they're going to be shut down by the far left because they're still the loudest voices in the room, and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't want to offend anybody," and they don't realize, well, that's how Trump gained so much popularity. He went through a lot of shit, but he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
You know, so it's like,
he's still like 53% approval rating.
yeah,
And
it's
that's
like, oh, you can't say that.
Maybe fuck yourself.
Just did. We.
Man, what to say?
That's exactly what he said. Matt, you have anything more you want to add?
Probably not. That was a perfect response.
No,
That was a good
perfect.
response.
That was
You're
perfect.
welcome.
Well done, buddy.
Go fuck yourself.
Thank you, Pancake Class.
So Disney and a bunch of other companies have lessened their DEI programs or just got rid of them. Some companies. Costco, for some reason, is still holding strong. Is this a sign of things changing and the Trump effect and the way the American people, are reacting to DEI and all this race-based BS?
I mean, I think if Disney is getting in line a little bit, that's saying something because they're very out there.
They still have DEI. They just lessen, like they got rid of
Right.
the overt DEI.
They still have very, very weird views and want to push them down people's throats, but yeah, they're not. They've lessened it, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's a huge righting of the ship and backlash to all this DEI stuff. As far as Disney goes, until they fire, what is it, Eigner? Is he the one who's in charge right now?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Him and what's her name?
Kathleen Kennedy.
She's the one who's in charge of Star Wars, but the actual CEO of
Iger.
Until the board gets rid of him, because he's the one who came in and ruined it. He pushed all this stuff. I guarantee you that dude has got BlackRock money or something like that. Because
that's how. All these investment companies, they got a huge stake in Hollywood, and that's why Hollywood's bought off. And what happened was all these investment companies like BlackRock, Vanguard, that's who's loaning these companies money until they recoup their money back from like these films and stuff.
What I don't understand is how many billions of dollars do you have to lose before you're like, hey, maybe this CEO is just talking a bunch of shit. And maybe we should just start putting out movies that people like Deadpool 3, offensive as shit, made a ton of money. You know why? Because that's what people like.
Yeah, but if no one's going to give you your credit, whatever, you kind of had to step in line with their values. They say,
Well,
Well,
yeah,
we're
if
going
they
to
have
cut
their
off your
lines of
credit.
credit through them, then yeah, but that's
You
why they're
pigeonholed yourself.
a lot of governors and states are passing laws to where investors like that have no say in how the company runs. Because that's
Yeah.
the problem. They become a majority shareholder, but it's not like they're majority shareholders. Their customers combined are majority shareholders. Was it stakeholders or stateholders, something like that?
Well, they're an investment company, so a person gives them money. They invested in stocks and bonds and stuff. And you make money off the dividends and shit like that. So it's not. They don't technically have any money. I mean, they just
Well,
got
yeah, they're using
everybody
other
else's
people's
money.
monies. That's why I think Florida passed a law saying that they can have no say in how the company runs. They do not have a seat on the board or a voice in the game. Like, unless it's a person who individually owns the stock, a conglomerate has no say in how the company runs. And I think that's a good way of, and even BlackRock and Vanguard, I think, are backing off some of this because it's not working out how they thought it would.
No, I'm guessing they thought that Democrats would just seize control and not lose it.
Yeah, you can only hemorrhage so much money before you get caught in a Bernie Madoff scheme.
Exactly.
And that's what they've been doing. They have not been making money. I guarantee it. With the amount of shit that they dump into all this stuff and the amount of the losses that are being shown.
The amount of houses they buy is amazing.
Well, that's them trying to do the you'll own nothing and like it.
Yeah.
It's like,
what do they do with those houses? Do they rent them or what?
I think they buy them up to try to tear them down to put multi-unit complexes on them.
Probably.
Ugh.
Yep.
Gross.
It is gross.
Has anybody heard anything while we're talking about that shit? Has anybody heard anything about like California? Like, are people going to be able to rebuild some of their houses and shit, or
not yet?
I mean, from what I heard, they're going to go out of their way to remove a lot of the red tape and the coastal regulators and stuff like that, to where he says Newsom said he's going to get all that stuff, and the mayor is going to get all that stuff out of the way so they can rebuild. But that's one of those things where it's a bunch of talk until, like Anna Carolla says, I'm like, oh yeah, you're all big blue and supporting Democrats. Just wait till you try to pull your first permit and see how you feel about it then. So I've heard that they are going to move out of the way to try to speed up rebuilding, but
I mean, there's a lot of bureaucratic red tape, though, that, I don't know if they're going to be able to actually say no. Bureaucrats have a pretty big head once they get a little bit of power.
So here's
what about unelected officials.
That's exactly what a bureaucrat is. Yes.
Oh.
What were you saying?
So here's what Google AI says on when can people start rebuilding in California. Governor Newsom has issued executive orders to suspend permitting requirements, streamline building processes, and provide tax and mortgage relief. The state has made it easier to build accessory dwelling units and are allowed for more temporary housing. But it doesn't give any dates or anything.
That's how you end up with a golf ball house in your neighborhood like me.
Golf ball house?
Yes, he has a golf ball house in his neighborhood.
It's like 4 houses down. There was a time in my neighborhood where there were no building codes and they threw it up. Like there was a year, for whatever reason, there were no building codes on this street and they threw it up. It's like one of those, I forgot.
It's like a big dome. It's all like,
it looks
okay. I was like, what is the golf ball?
It looks like half a golf ball sticking out of the ground.
Yeah, it's all gridded
with a matching garden.
So it's the biodome.
Yes. That's exactly what it looks like. A white biodome, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But it's cool that they do that, and hopefully they do, because that they need it. That and seems like, I don't know if you have in the happenings of the week, but it seems like Trump might be going after people for being stupid. So I don't know if you do or not.
It's usually what he does.
I don't think you do, Kevin. So we'll be talking about that in happenings.
What's that?
All right. About Trump in New York.
I thought I put that there.
I don't know. I'm not really looking that hard at it.
Jesus.
I don't see it.
Is this the type of house? Is that what he's talking about? Geodesic?
I think so. Look it up, Matt. Find a picture of a geodesic house. It's like it's a dome. It's half a dome, and it's like all triangular shapes around it. Which
Geodesic dome.
is what makes it look
That's
kind
a
of
very
like a
bit.
golf
That's
ball,
like Epcot.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. Yes, a white Epcot,
but half
Yeah.
of it.
but half of it, yeah.
And apparently, it is not allowed to be built in Amarillo, except for that 1 year where there are no building permits, and the guy's like, "Fuck it, we're throwing it up."
Good for him. That's how you beat the man.
It's like
Right.
James and the Giant Peach with the.
What?
Jesus.
It's not a peach.
I
It's a
don't know.
golf ball.
Why would you call it a peach? What kind
Yeah,
of peaches
literally
are you
peach.
eating? Stop
You
eating those
burn-
What
peaches,
are the
man.
disadvantages? Just stop it. What are the disadvantages of geodesic domes? Additionally, the slope of the walls can make it challenging to install shelves, cabinets, and other interior
Well, yeah, it's all
items.
round.
I don't know if I could put the shelf here.
Everything just
I don't
kind
know.
of falls
Well,
out.
It
whoever
just fell off it.
the house has never been on the market, at least since Zillow's been around, because a lot of times you can look at a house on Zillow and it'll show like the last listings pictures.
Yeah,
There's
and see
nothing.
the inside of the house.
There's nothing.
That sucks.
Building a geodesic dome home can cost anywhere from $30,000 for a simple DIY kit to over $400,000 for a large custom design structure. On average, it's about $150,000 to $200,000.
No, there you
That's
go.
well
Well,
equipped and
there you go.
comfortably
Learn something
stocked.
new every day.
Nobody can say they
Yeah.
don't learn anything on this show, Kevin.
The more
That's
you
right.
know.
All right, back on track here.
Yeah.
Last question of our main topic here. Josh, do you think DEI or some version of it will be here in 5 years?
It depends on how the blue cities and blue states are. It kind of goes into the stuff going on in New York, but I think they're always going to try it. They might rename it. I mean, it went from woke to something else to DI and mainstream like it has been. No, I think DEI is DIE as far as that goes.
Matt?
I'm not saying it won't come back generations down the road if we get stupid.
Or just
but-
be named something else?
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think?
I think people are stubborn enough, they'll keep something not to the extent that it is right now, but there will be some kind of DEI program somewhere going on.
I also believe there will be something, maybe not in the federal government, but I mean, there's always going to be something. California.
Yeah,
Those
people are just
liberal
going to
blue
be like,
states is going to
whatever.
try to do something. So that's all I have for the main topic. So that means, Josh, winners and losers.
Oh,
In my book, you're a winner too.
I think you're a loser.
As always, we start on the negative. So Matt, let's start with you. Do you have a loser of the week?
It's a group, and it's all the
Oh, that's so racist.
I know. What the fuck?
not race. They're mixed. There's mixed races in this group.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were just going to
It's
say
the-
spout off some racist shit and want to
No,
head it off before you did, man.
no, it's the members of Congress that tried breaking into the Department of Education.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
That was hilarious. They were, and then that one
horrendously
guy,
pathetic.
Yeah.
and they were just spouting off. Especially what's her name, Waters.
Oh,
The
she's
funny
a-
thing
I
is, they were
can't
pulling
stand
the
it.
shit that
I thought
people
she was
pull
in a
at cops.
wheelchair. Like, how the hell was she even?
Who,
She couldn't
Waters?
pull hard enough to open a regular door. Come
I
on.
know. She got her chromium shot.
Oh.
No, and then the guy came out and like blocked them and wouldn't move.
And she's like, "We pay your salary." I'm like, "Really? You're pulling that line?" I can only imagine what she says to cops.
Really? She said that? We pay your salary?
Yes.
She said that to him, yeah, to the guy
No,
that was
we
standing out there.
paid his salary. She
Yeah.
doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
She allocates money. That's what she does, which is the reason we're in this mess.
I pay your salary.
Well, and then there was another thing. This is off topic a little bit, but she was talking about Doge looking into stuff, and then she was like, "Yeah, we don't know what they have on us." It's like
That's exactly what we want to find out.
that's
why
what we're
everyone's
doing.
angry about it.
It's like they're looking into our stuff, and we don't know what they have on us.
Josh?
Kind of just outed yourself, but good job.
My loser is the NFL, as far as like the people in the head office, just because they seem to be behind the ball a lot. I'm not
That's
100% sure, like, if everything was already like, I guess everything's already in, but I don't know. They just seem to be behind the ball. It's like you're America's sport. Football is like America's sport, arguably adapted from rugby, but it's our sport. You need to be
Yeah.
patriotic. They shouldn't have allowed a lot of shit, and they're doing a very slow correction on it.
I agree.
Read
It should
room.
be. It should always been America's sport. I mean,
It was baseball.
now it's football. Let's be
Baseball
honest.
lost it
Football
when they
is
went on
king
strike.
in sports.
Baseball's all Hispanic.
It hasn't fully come back since the strike.
Yeah,
Like it lost a lot.
absolutely.
Yeah.
When a bunch of rich people who play a not high impact, high energy game bitched about how much money they were making.
Yeah.
And I went to a scab game. Had a good time. Cheap seats.
Hell yeah, man. Which one did you go to?
It was the Diamondbacks and somebody else. It was down in Arizona.
Astros?
Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Diamondbacks, bro. That's where Grace went, so he could actually win a World Series, and he did.
Then, yeah, I'm sticking with the NFL. Only I'm going back to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to say the halftime show because I can't lie, I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan, and I didn't really know who he was beforehand. And it wasn't even the music itself that was that bad.
I didn't think the beat, like the
Like
music
I
was
could actually
bad.
get into the music, but it was
Were you
there was
groovy?
no showmanship. Like, there's the halftime show was always like a big spectacle. It just didn't seem like a big spectacle. It seemed like a concert.
Did you know
So-
that? Did you know that somebody turned? I would say not necessarily racist, but more prejudiced. Someone was like, "Oh, you talk about DEI, but there were no white people in the halftime show." And like, no, we're all about merit. And there were basically
yeah,
no white
we can
people
dance
that
better
could
than white
dance.
people.
Well, no, and then what was it? Somebody on The View. The View was talking about it's like, oh, he left because there's no white people. It was all black people, so he left. He didn't like the halftime show. Trump.
I didn't even notice that till really after it. But I did notice a lot of posts and videos of people like explaining it and like how it's supposed to have this deeper meaning. If you had to
it was all about Drake.
Yeah, if you had to
The
have
entire show was about Drake.
Yeah, being a pedophile or something.
18-inch like post, like if you were to measure it out, explaining a performance, it fell flat and you failed.
Yeah.
Well,
It was low energy. It was low energy and boring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There was no. Usually, the halftime show is a giant spectacle. It's a giant, holy shit, fucking people flying around in the air and fireworks going off and shit like that. There wasn't.
that's
really...
what I thought. That's why I thought it was weird when they came out and they said he was doing the halftime show, and the only other person that was with him was SZA, is because he is laid back. He's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't get amped up that much, but he's one of the most popular rappers for sports guys. Like basketball listens to him, all the football players listen to him, so they're like, "Oh, let's have him
I didn't
do
mind
the
Lisa. I
halftime
just
show."
thought there should be more.
But it was like I said, it was 100% aimed at Drake because Drake said, "Hey, if you play this song, I'm going to sue you because it talks about me." And then so he was like, "Okay, I'm going to play the song." And the NFL said, "Yeah, he can play whatever he wants." So he went on that. He had Serena Williams, who's Drake's ex. He had her in there. Yeah, I was just like, really? This is not a Super Bowl halftime show. It's just
It was
an
no
excuse
Michael
for him to diss
Jackson,
Drake.
Prince, or
Prince, hands down, is
I think that's
probably
actually
the best.
I think that's probably the best one that's ever
showmanship wise, and
Oh,
putting
yeah,
you
it was
right
great.
on the borderline of a seizure from all the flashing lights. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's
If you were epileptic,
that's the hallmark right there.
you were seasoned out, buddy.
You were toast.
If your
Yeah.
jaw doesn't start clenching, like you're.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just.
Put that wallet in your mouth because you're going to seize up.
It's like, oh, here you go. You got your leather strap. Let's do this.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
Janet
That just
Jackson
happened.
and Justin Timberlake. That was
That
great.
showed nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Everyone's big on him.
Yeah.
But we need to make
we
sure
went-
we read these out
Remember
for the
that.
viewers. Remember when Justin Timberlake exposed Janet Jackson's boob? We have fallen a long way. That is true.
Booby.
And everyone was acting offended. No one was offended.
Did you say you had a winner or no?
It's yours. I guess my other winner would be the guy that kept the Congress out of the Department of Education, because he literally had the most patience, and he did not give a flying fuck
one
about
of them
anybody
English,
or anything.
Whatever dude with the big hat, furry hats.
He just stood there. No, he just stood there. He's like, yeah, I'm an employee. You're not getting in. Do you have
the
business?
Funny thing is,
no,
he was not a very imposing person. He was pretty scrawny.
Well, it's not like they can push him over, you know. They
any of those guys could just get him out of the way. Well, then behind him there were cops.
Oh,
yeah.
Behind him in the door,
he was
there
the
were
front
cops
man
that were waiting. Yeah.
You go out there.
If they got past him, then
you get that old lady spit on you. I ain't.
It's like, why are you so Slavic?
Josh, who's your winner?
My winner is Lindy Lee, who used to be the number one fundraiser for the DNC, who recently came out on the Sean Ryan show and did basically a tell-all, naming names about who was actually running the presidency under Biden, because it was not Biden. It was basically AIDS.
What?
This is blowing my mind.
She did say it was kind of weird though, because she was saying like it was all the top aides around him were the ones who've actually been running the country with Joe Biden, and then she also said it was a third term for Obama. But she's a winner because the weird thing is, listening to her talk, it seems like she's been pretty conservative her entire life, but she grew up in a Democrat city. Her parents are Democrats. Everyone around were Democrats, so she became a Democrat. And she's a very driven person. Like I said, she was number one earner for the DNC. And then she ended up she was pissed off with the amount of money she raised for. Now she started coming out right away about like, I raised all this money, and then like you're spending all the stupid shit about the Kamala campaign. So she already started doing it, but with the shit she came out with the Sean Ryan show, I was just like, okay, well, you just put yourself on the Clinton list. Hope you got private security.
Yeah.
Lindy Lee did not kill herself.
Yeah, she did not kill herself.
Again,
I mean, she's still alive, but if she turns up not alive, she didn't kill herself. Remember that. You heard it there.
I thought that was pretty telling how.
Don't point at me.
I thought that was pretty telling how what she is saying.
Yeah.
So everybody should actually watch that Sean Ryan show.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
It was. So I was surprised how much she actually exposed.
Well, yeah, because he kept saying, I'll name names, and Sean's like, yeah, we'll get to that. Right now, I want to know who the hell was running the country.
Yeah.
All right, you two talk about your winners. I'll be right back.
Okay, I guess, well, I'm just like, Hunter Biden was in those meetings, like top secret meetings and shit, classified meetings, and so was Dr. Jill. So it was a pretty tell-all type of, but if you haven't watched it, watch the Sean Ryan.
I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, I've seen. It was, there's a bunch of clips going around on like TikTok and I guess Reels or stuff, whatever, like that. So look up Lindy Lee.
Yeah. I just go through my TikTok For You page and it has like gold, so I send it to you guys.
Yeah. I get a bunch of them. So my winner is Cooper DeJean, small town Iowa boy. Right here, Iowa. Northwest Iowa. Came from a town of less than 1,000 people. Made it to the NFL. Did a pick six. And in the
on his birthday.
On his birthday. So that's pretty cool. And
he's the second rookie to get a pick six in history, and he's the first player to get a pick six on his birthday in the Super Bowl. And it was his first career pick.
Yeah, it's crazy. What a time to get your first pick, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, if somebody didn't know who Cooper DeJean was, they did after that.
Oh, they do now, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Philly loves him, the town.
Yeah.
The team is in love with him. All the guys are. Yeah, he's just crazy good.
I guess when some guy was introducing, the players and stuff, at their parade today.
Yeah.
And so the guy said, and here are the awesome whites. And Cooper DeJean and Blankenship came up and talked.
Blankenship, yeah.
They introduced him as the awesome whites on the team.
Well, it's funny because if you watch them do their celebrations together, they're like the most white celebrations. It's funny. They make a joke about it.
I was kind of surprised that nobody did the Trump dance.
Yeah.
I don't know how widespread that was, but
somebody might have if they Chiefs scored. No, I don't know.
I don't remember seeing it.
Maybe Mahomes would have.
But yeah, that's winners and losers. So you know what time it is. Time for the Trump Truth.
What I say is what I say.
And my Trump Truth this week is great talks with Russia and Ukraine yesterday. Good possibility of ending that horrible, very bloody war. That was my Trump Truth.
What I say is what I say.
So, coming off of that, and the happenings of the week.
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening?
I do find it ironic that we're immature enough to make sure that we had a fart thing in there because we're not grown-ups on this show. Matt's probably the most grown-up out of all three of us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's sad.
It is sad.
Yeah.
That's very sad.
So, coming off that Trump Truth.
Since I'm the youngest.
Russia and Ukraine, is the war coming to an end? Do you think Trump will actually get them to sit down and agree on terms?
Yes. I think both sides actually want it to end. It's making Russia look bad. Ukraine's losing a lot. I've heard that things are going worse for Ukraine than what is reported. But what is it? Oh, are you going on 3 years, right? Over 3 years?
Over 3 years? Yeah, almost 4.
When did they start? Was it the plane?
2021, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Look it up. You're the looker upper guy, man.
Fine.
God. But
yeah, I think it's coming to an end. I think it's good for both. Why wouldn't Russia does look bad though. They should if the US decided to take over Ukraine, it'd be 2 weeks.
Why would we take over Ukraine?
I'm just saying if we decided we wanted to,
it would just be over.
Like if we decided we want to be a military, like a military force in the world,
a tyrannical force on the world.
Yeah, and we just wanted to take over countries and make them our land. We could have Ukraine in less than 2 weeks, I bet.
Well, it'd be like when we went into Desert Storm.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, we went in and destroyed our enemy like that.
Yeah. It was the staying there and trying to rebuild is what fucked everything up.
Yeah, we were not good nation builders. We built our nation.
Well, that's because money gets involved. Once money's involved and once people are getting contracts and trying to siphon off money from the government, that's when shit starts fucking up. People aren't doing it out of the goodness of their heart or actually protecting or rebuilding these countries. They're doing it to make money. They're not doing it for the greater good or anything like that. They're doing it to make money, contracts, all that shit. So they're not going to speed things up and actually try to help people.
Do you think so Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, said that Ukraine will not become part of NATO. And then they were kind of saying, like, I don't know, they seemed like they were kind of trying to soften that, but I don't think there's any way in hell Ukraine's going to be part of NATO.
If Ukraine's part of NATO, then Russia's not going to fucking... It's either going... There's two things that are going to happen. Russia's going to invade more countries, or B, especially Ukraine, or B, there's going to be a nuclear war. There's no getting out of it. Russia's not going to allow a country bordering them, especially one so close to their fucking capital, to be part of NATO.
Well, and anybody who has a problem with that, think about if you had Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, that had a pact against the United States, and then Mexico wanted to join. Do you think that there's any way in hell we would allow that to happen?
Of course not.
And are we all in agreement on this show that NATO should have been disbanded back when the Soviet Union fell?
Yes. It's just a fucking money laundering scheme like every other fucking organization.
Its original mission no longer exists.
Yeah.
Like, and we've said this
It
on
was
the
to
show
stop the
before.
USSR from spreading.
Yeah, Russia got its talent from the USSR, all the other countries that were part of the USSR. Russia alone, what they got from that was their nukes.
Yeah.
They're not like this big, like, developing, technologically advanced nation. And like they've already killed off like hundreds of thousands, if it's not even toward a million. I mean, hell, that's how they helped with World War II. They lose like 20+ million people or something like that. I mean, that's how Russia fights wars. They just throw people at it. And if you don't keep moving forward, they shoot you on your way back.
Yep.
Again, one of the best movies is Enemy at the Gates, because it shows them just throwing people out there. They just keep being like, hey, we'll win this by just like throwing people out there.
Is that the one with Owen Wilson?
No.
That's
Children
Behind Enemy Lines.
That's a good movie.
No, Enemy at the Gates is the one with Jude Law. He's a Russian
the
sniper.
sniper movie. That was a good movie too.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? Behind Enemy Lines. That's why you won't let me put those Bombardier jackets on our merch shop. Make sure you visit that. Click the link below because it reminds you of that guy, a Ukrainian hitman. All the bad guys over in East Europe wear jumpsuits.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's
so yeah, I think they are going to end it. I don't think there's any way in hell Ukraine's going to get in. I do think Russia is probably going to retain the parts of Ukraine that pretty well considered themselves part of Russia anyway. There's no way that Ukraine is going to geographically is going to be the same before the war.
No,
so
they're going to have to secede some areas. The Donbass region, Crimea is already part of Russia now. I mean, so these are two areas that they're going to lose for sure. And those are two areas that want to be part of Russia anyways.
Yeah, because they're kicking benefits. They got the best health care in Russia.
Yeah, sure
Russia. Yeah, you got good vodka.
It's like, no, you don't get the
Vodka
citizen
kills
discount
everything,
on
buddy.
vodka unless you're part of the country.
That's the best medicine. That's the best medicine.
Vodka kills everything.
There is actually a disease you can get, like a virus that some guy, I think, had in Russia. And they ended up finding that the cure was putting him on a slow IV drip of vodka.
That's awesome.
That is a true story.
I might have to look that.
It was like on Ripley's Believe It or Not, but this guy was super sick, and the only thing they found that killed it was like alcohol, so they put him on a vodka drip.
Jesus.
Interesting.
Obviously, it wasn't a liver disease.
Obviously. Side effects.
He probably developed one.
Massive liver failure.
Yeah. It's like, it healed my other illness, but now I don't have a liver.
Doge goes after the Department of Education and FEMA.
Why do I look stuff up? I can never answer your questions.
Well,
we don't have time to wait for your slow fingers.
No, I had it like 20 minutes ago.
Oh. Well, there's going to be a shit ton of fraud. They're actually in the IRS now, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to put that down.
Everyone thinks they have 4 years to do this. Apparently, Trump only authorized the existence of Doge until like June of 2026. That's one of the reasons why they're moving so fast.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take long to find corruption, I think, once you actually get into it.
No, I don't know how they're doing their searches and everything.
AI, I think.
Yeah, I think it's an AI, like, what do they call it?
It's like an algorithm.
Yeah. Can't think of the word because COVID made my brain.
Was it algorithm?
Nope. Quantum mapping. That's the term.
Quantum mapping?
I don't know. It might be. Fuck, I don't know.
I could be talking out of my ass like I normally am, but that's what I heard.
It sounds right. So
sounds
good on you.
fancy.
It does
it's a big
sound
word.
right.
It's a big word, so it's good.
It sounds scientific and computery. So
I'm betting there is a shit ton of fraud in the Department of Education. A ton of it, like ton, like hundreds of millions, if not into the billions of dollars, went to pay for illegal immigrants at FEMA. So yeah.
Well, I saw they in the Department of Education they were giving money to like GNO or something, or they're giving money something to have people watch clerical workers, just to watch them work.
Are you sure you're not talking about the post office one?
It might be the post office one.
Where the guy got paid over $1 million just to watch people sort mail.
Yeah. Was that post office,
buddy?
I thought that was coming out of the DOE. Department. I thought it was coming out of the Department of Education.
I don't know. I just know that came out. But there was a guy who got paid, and this wasn't at like every post office. This was at a post office.
So it's a guy just sitting
Singular.
there. You know that somebody's buddy, some congressman's buddy, got paid $1 million to go in and watch people sort.
And then how much of that money was a pretty big fan of Elon talking about, you got all these people that come to Washington and they make, I mean, you got to think about it. The average congressman, they give them a raise up to like 180?
Yeah, it's not much. I mean, it's
and then somehow they come to Washington and now they're millionaires.
Well, yeah, that one, the main chick.
That's where
Pelosi?
that quantum mapping comes in.
No, not Pelosi. Who's the one?
She's just a good stock.
Somebody that,
She's just a good.
Somebody got followed around by some paparazzi people and was like, "Hey, you have $200,000, but your net worth is like 15 million."
Yeah,
it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah,
and the only way that Elon will be able to find that is through that mapping system that they're using, to where they can actually follow the money, and somehow it connects where all the money goes.
Yeah. So what was the word you used? Quantum mapping?
I think.
It's not.
I heard it.
Quantum mapping is the process of mapping the underground without drilling or mapping quantum circuits onto quantum hardware.
That was from a CNN anchor, by the way.
Big balls, oh yeah.
Elon Musk, who changed his social media handle to Harry Balls.
For like a day.
Big balls.
Quantum mapping can mean different things, and I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, and NASA shut down their quantum computer.
Because it was messing with the whatever you call it, Mandela effects. Yeah.
Probably. Something like that. Both Tulsi Gabbard and RFK were actually confirmed into their offices.
Yep.
So anybody got anything want to say about that, or just
proud of you? Proud of you.
I don't think either of them made it by much.
I think RFK was very, very slim.
Cocaine Mitch voted
against every one of Trump's nominees, I think, so far.
Way to go out with a bang, Mitch.
Dude, you can't say you can't say uniparty more than Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
That dude just needs to he's in a wheelchair. Like, just get the fuck out. Like, who cares?
Like
Kentucky.
The only thing he did was he
Republican pieces of shit.
He saved us from having Merrick Garland as the Supreme Court.
That's the one thing he did.
That was the last good thing he did.
That was the one good thing he did. That's the one good thing. I can't think of another good thing he did.
No.
Especially since Trump came into.
Ever since he got off the coke, he just hasn't been the same.
Right? That's probably why he's in a wheelchair and glitches out, though.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure.
He fell like 3 times. That's why they put him in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like, I know what RFK is going to do. And I think he's going to do a good job. And hopefully he does make America healthier, because we're all not healthy. What are the benefits of
Make Zepbound free?
I don't really think that person does much.
Is it like you think she's going to be more of a whistleblower, or?
I don't think you're going to hear much.
From Tulsi Gabbard.
What is she?
She's head of intelligence.
Yeah, national intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know Trump didn't trust the intelligence in his first term, and he got most of his information from private intelligence.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just have to see.
Contracted intelligence, which is, I think, the way
I couldn't tell you who the current one is. Or the one that last term, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's...
What was Comey?
Comey was the FBI director.
Yeah,
that's right.
I love that.
You
meme
hear
with
about the
Cash
FBI
Patel
directors and the
standing
CIA
outside the
directors a
hotel
lot more than the.
eyeglass. Have you
What's
seen
that?
those memes with like, say Obama looking through the eyeglass and it's got Cash Patel sitting there?
Oh yeah,
With the weird eye.
I don't think his confirmation's come up yet though.
No, he's
Patel?
out of committee.
Yeah, he's out of committee. I don't think he's. It's taking so long for anybody to get confirmed.
Well, it is, but it isn't. Like, this is actually moving pretty fast compared to his first term.
Yeah.
You see Linda McMahon's start of her deal, Kevin?
I haven't seen any of that.
I saw a couple
some
clips of it
because you were talking about it.
Yeah. So what's funny is obviously Vince McMahon's not with her. That would be very bad. But right behind her, she has Triple H just sitting there, still huge.
Funny.
That's funny.
And he's just like sipping water the entire time. He does not want to be there, but he's there with his wife and brother-in-law. So he's just there sipping water, and the entire time I was just waiting for him to spit it at Congress or something. Just do his big old intro. Just be like, "Ah."
I was just waiting for him to stand up during one of the stupid questions and be like,
well, I wonder if that's why she did it. It's like, you sit right behind me right there,
Yeah.
so they have to look at you every time they look at me.
Every time
make
you ask
sure
a
that-
dumbass question, just remember who's behind me.
show him that huge brow.
That's The Rock, but yeah.
No, I'm talking whole brow. The dude's got a giant brow.
Yeah.
It's very
So this
bulbous.
was something a little disturbing. A little girl related to J.D. Vance was denied a heart transplant because she
Yeah,
did
I
not
heard
have her COVID shot.
I'll be suing the shit out of that hospital.
I didn't know we're still trying to make children have COVID
Like,
shots.
was this recent?
Yeah. It's like last week. That's why I put it in here.
Yeah, that's well, and that's something they need to change. I guess they need to make a law about it. How is that not discriminatory?
And people probably, there's all kinds of reasons you deny somebody a transplant.
Yeah, it normally has to do with like, hey, you're up for a liver transplant and you're still a huge raging alcoholic.
Yeah, I agree, but I think
Or a lung
vaccines
transplant,
and
you're a
shit are part
smoker
of
or
it.
shit like that. But because you don't have the COVID vaccine, fuck off.
Yeah, especially when it's bad for children.
Yeah.
Well, bad for everybody.
Well, thanks for getting this episode banned.
Whatever. Watch us on Rumble.
Yeah, that would be suing the crap out of that. And they do need to, I guess, because we still have a lot of stupid left. We're going to have to make a law that you can't discriminate against people who didn't get an experimental vaccine.
I think Trump just did make, well, what was it? He said that schools can't say children can't go to their school because they don't have, if they're getting public funding, they can't be denied because they don't have their COVID vaccine.
I will be interested to see how much work RFK does as far as this litany of vaccines that they give kids nowadays.
You mean
So
like
this girl,
was there 39?
It's a huge number. What are you talking about, Matt?
I looked up the relative, and on New York Post it says she's 12 years old, lives in Indiana, and she was adopted from China. She's been treated at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital for nearly 10 years with this disease that would require a heart transplant. And they hope that she would be able to get the transplant in Cincinnati, but the hospital requires transplant patients to be vaccinated and declined to make an exemption, even when told it's against the family's religious beliefs as non-denominational Christians.
Yeah, I would say that hospital doesn't need to be so much for do no harm.
Right? And a lot of little girl died because...
Like, it's all right. You know, you should have got the vaccine. This is on you.
Yeah.
This is on
You've been treating her for 10 years, but no, we're not going to do it.
Well, the money's in the treatment.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you 100% do not have, never mind, it's not Sue's. Okay?
Sue's.
The DNC criminally charged the governor and the...
We're not there yet.
I'm just saying.
What are you talking about?
You shut your mouth.
We're not there yet.
We're not talking to you.
Okay. I was just talking, and then you started
We'll
yelling.
move on
I was
then,
like,
so we can get
sorry,
to you, Kevin.
I'm used to people yelling at me. My bad.
Russia released a teacher, Mark for a trade. Some crypto guy from Russia was traded for Mark Fogel, a teacher. So
I would have had more respect if he didn't trade anybody for him, but I'm glad he got
that's
back.
not how that
At
works.
least he didn't trade him, like the number 2 warlord of the world for him.
That's true. But we got our basketball player, our women's basketball player back.
Yeah.
The Winter Soldier.
And nobody batted an eye at that.
No, a lot of people
made
batted
a movie
their eye
about
at
how horrible this person is, and let's go ahead and trade him for a basketball player who is caught with weed.
That's because
THC
that was still during the Biden administration, and the media was still running point for Biden. So basically, what they did was just tell people we traded somebody for Brittany Grenier or whatever her name is, and they didn't really specify that we traded the Lord of War for her.
Yeah. They didn't say that out loud.
They didn't say that
People
part.
had to look at it.
Now they can make a sequel to that movie.
Yeah. I'm sure they will.
And Nick
okay,
Cage
Josh.
used the right age. Yeah, there you go.
DOJ charges New York so far. Well, Kathy Hochul, Letitia James, and
didn't they charge the Chicago mayor too?
No. Somebody else though. For sanctuary policies.
Judge.
Yeah, I know why they're. Well, Bill O'Reilly says this is like Trump's vendetta, but I think that the reason why they're doing it is to bring sanctuary city status up to the Supreme Court to see if they can even do that, because I think they're going to be arguing the supremacy clause.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly why they did it.
I mean, it's a good move.
Yeah,
I think it's like Little Miss. Oh, I'll be waiting when you're out. I'm like, okay, well, you're technically breaking federal law, so we're going to go ahead and charge you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fuck Around and Find Out Club.
I'm glad they did it. And they should be doing more of these sanctuary cities. I mean,
we did also learn that Democrats are not very good at cussing.
We have to fuck Trump!
Yeah.
Just want to make sure I threw that in there. It's like, don't tell my kids I said this.
Yeah.
Frickin' the Rubin Report had that, and then they played that, then promptly after Trump saying, I'm gonna come.
Josh, didn't you have something else you were going to play?
Yeah.
Let's check through here.
Might not get us kicked off.
Let's see what this is.
Vice President suggested that if the Supreme Court rules in a way that you don't like, they can just enforce it by themselves. Do you agree with that?
I don't know even what you're talking about. Neither do you. Who are you with?
Up close, sir.
Who? No wonder. I thought they died. Are they still around? I haven't read them in years. I thought they died.
Who was it?
All right, go ahead. Who else?
Oh, the Huffington.
Because I thought they died.
You died.
I thought they died. No, what I was another thing I was saying is like all these Democrats are going around like it's weird, and I don't know if you guys know this, but like so you got all these judges saying that
I'll be right back.
Saying that Trump can't. It's weird that what they're doing is there's like federal judges are coming out and stopping what Trump's doing, or trying to putting a pause on this, putting a pause on that, saying they can't do that. Well, Andrew Jackson back in the day, they were kind of doing that, and he's like, all right, well, good luck enforcing it. And here's a little montage I made. Well, I didn't make it. I stole this.
We are 3 weeks into the second Trump presidency, 3 weeks, and tonight there are warnings that the U.S. is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis.
That is a constitutional crisis. That is a crisis for our democracy.
I see
We've got our toes right on the edge of a constitutional crisis here.
And what we are witnessing is a constitutional crisis.
To defy court orders brings about a constitutional crisis.
We've moved from a constitutional crisis to a constitutional collapse.
There has been thought, I believe, given to this. Senator Ron Wyden has already issued statements, for example, advising what we should do in a situation like this, which I concur, which is that I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that we,
well, wouldn't that put us into a constitutional crisis?
The legitimacy, and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts.
Again, it's worth repeating. A judge has never overruled the FDA on these grounds. There are some members of Congress who have suggested that President Biden and other leaders should ignore the ruling. I certainly understand the sentiment, but do you think that is a viable path forward?
This court has lost legitimacy.
It's always
they have
the hypocritical
whatever legitimacy they may still have had after their gun decision, after their voting decision, after their union decision. They just took the last of it and set a torch to it.
It's recorded. And once it's on the internet, it's there forever.
Yeah, they're dumb as shit.
Forever.
Well, no one calls them out on it, so they don't give a shit. No one ever calls them out on it. They're just now getting caught saying this stupid shit and getting caught. So they don't usually care because they're never caught.
Well, what I don't get is not a whole lot of, like, hardly anybody watches mainstream media. So the only reason why any of that shit gets aired is because, like, Fox and podcasts like us, super popular. Make sure you like, subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Comment below.
Make sure like, subscribe.
Like, play this stuff because it's funny, because it's dumb. I do want to get your guys' take on this since it is coming up.
When you say all hell is going to break loose, are you speaking about retaliation from
You'll find out, and they'll find out too. Hamas will find out what I mean.
Mr. President,
they're going to find out what I mean. These are sick people, and they'll find out what I mean. Saturday at 12 and 12.
Saturday at 12.
Saturday at 12. If all the hostages aren't released, he's basically, from my understanding, he's basically going to let Israel do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, good. Well, he should.
Hello.
I'm all about fucking everybody in Hamas being fucking.
Well, there's no way they're going to be able to move to phase 2. That's not going to happen.
No peace agreement, no ceasefire has ever gone to phase 2 if there's two phases, more than one phase. It's never happened.
The second phase is the removal of
I know,
Hamas.
But there has been plenty of
phase 3.
Like, there's plenty of like peace agreements or ceasefires that have had multiple phases. They never reached the second phase. It's never happened.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what things going on Saturday. I know a lot of people are. We've gotten to the point now where Hamas has been decimated so bad that people are now like making excuses like, well, I know it's Hamas, but the Gazans and the Palestinians, they're not for that, even though I don't know.
They're all for it.
When some say that they support Hamas, some say they don't. The fact is they elected Hamas into it. They knew their intentions. And they're like, oh, Israel's the terrorist.
In the last hostage exchange, they dragged a woman out and everybody was like yelling at her in the crowd.
Yeah, well, I'm just
saying there isn't a difference. They've embraced Hamas.
Well, and I think what Trump's
because they were forced to, but yeah.
On all this, and I honestly do not agree or think that we should have anything to do with Gaza. But I mean, if we have no money invested and we're just like generating revenue by, I guess, owning Gaza, but we have no military there. We're not spending any taxpayer money there, and it's basically a place for other countries to come in and invest and rebuild it. Cool, whatever. I do not want to have a presence in Gaza.
No.
Personally, that's just the way I feel.
I don't think we should have a presence in the Middle East, period.
But what he's doing is he's trying to change the equation because nothing ever changes. It's always been the same shit.
Yes.
And people like try to say, like that guy from the Young Turks who tries to bully everybody into, like, I don't know, agreeing with him, saying that Israel's a terrorist and blah, blah. I'm like, no. What Hamas did is they went in and they shot up and murdered a bunch of innocent people and then kidnapped them. But they didn't go after like even military structures or anything like that. It was a terror attack. Hamas was elected to leadership by the Palestinians. Now, granted, Hamas kind of held on to it by fucked up means, but whatever. Which means something harsh, something needs to change the equation of the game.
Yeah.
It just has to happen. So,
agreed.
I don't know. But, yeah, I do not think we need to be in Gaza.
I couldn't agree more.
That's a shit show that I don't want to have any part of.
Yep.
Anybody else have anything else that happened of the week?
That's about it for me.
All right. Well, you know what time it is. And this time we have a special sponsor for White Slur of the Week.
Brought to you by Tuckers. Ladies, are you tired of having to say eyes up here due to that unsightly dong-shaped bulge in your crotchal region? Then Tuckers is the feminine underwear for you. Their patented she-shaft shackle, conveniently located in the frontal gooch area, ensures a secure bulge-free fit. Made of 100% recycled garbage from the streets of San Francisco, not only will that pesky moose knuckle be comfortably transformed into a true Arabian camel toe, you'll also be overtaken by that self-gratifying feeling knowing that you're helping clean up one of America's not-so-pretty-anymore cities. Tuckers. Don't let that pesky penis ruin your girl's night out. That's Tuckers, the ultimate cucumber elastic restraint system. Use promo code Buffalo Bill for 10% off your first order.
What's a honky?
Sorry, that was great. And today's White Slur of the Week. Ditch pig describes redneck kids who play in ditches and streets.
What's a honky?
Ditch pig was a good one.
Ditch pig.
That promo code does work.
Yeah. So visit our merch shop and get 10% off if you put Buffalo Bill in the promo.
Ditch pig.
You learn something every day.
Yeah. So next time you see a kid playing in a fucking, ditch or a street, just be like, get out of my way, you ditch pig.
We're trying to end the white slurs, Kevin.
Get Tuckers.
And be sure to visit www.tuckers.com. It may or may not take you to a merch shop. I don't know.
It may or may not.
Okay.
Anybody got anything else before we get out of here?
I don't.
All right. Well, Matt, you got anything? Okay. Well, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And I'm Matt.
And this was the lost art of common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense. Keep that vinyl spinning.
And remember, don't be boring. Be a pirate.
And stay classy.
Way to cause a dead spot.
That sounded horrible.